Hello and welcome to On the Mat with Lydia. That's me. And whatever has brought you to your practice today, you are very welcome here. Today's class is a lower body Pilates focused practice. So a little bit more on the Pilates side of things. You'll see some yoga stretches and movements that you're familiar with as well. But today we're really drawing our energy, our strength into the legs so we can build up that power through the core, through the lower body to support us both on and off the mat. So whenever you're ready, let's get on the mat. Let's begin today lying down on our back. So when you are ready, bring it all the way down. And take a moment here to find any shape, any stretch that feels good as you settle onto your mat. So maybe a full body stretch, maybe a hug of your knees, whatever feels sweet as you arrive. Allowing your body to settle into your space onto your yoga mat. Becoming aware of every sensation and movement through your body. And eventually let yourself settle into some stillness here. Perhaps feet planted or legs outstretched. Your eyes can close if that feels safe and comfortable to you. Let's just start our practice today with a few breaths together. So inhaling through your nose. Sigh it out. This time inhale through your nose. Purse your lips and exhale like you're blowing out a birthday candle. Again, inhale. Exhale. Continuing with that breath. Each time you exhale out through pursed lips, notice that sensation of your belly button dropping towards your spine. And we'll start to make that a little bit more exaggerated. So each time you inhale, feel your breath filling up your rib cage. As you exhale, really actively hug navel to spine. Inhale, fill up your ribs. Exhale, navel to spine. One more, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, breathe into your rib cage. Exhale, strong navel to spine. See if you can keep your belly button hugging in as you inhale. And exhale, maybe hugging in a little bit more. Beautiful. We're going to try to keep this core engagement here, navel hugging towards spine, pelvis nice and neutral. As you start to hug your right knee in towards your chest, catching either the top of your shin or the back of your thigh. Start to roll through your right ankle, making sure to go in both directions. And then hands will journey to the back of your thigh if not already there. A nice loose interlace of your fingers. Let your knee come away from your chest and then lengthen your right leg towards the ceiling. Point and flex through your right foot. Notice that change in sensation through the back of your right leg. And then let your foot relax. Ankle comes to neutral. Hands stay behind your thigh as you gently encourage your leg, maybe just a little bit closer to your chest. Right hip stays heavy so you can feel that stretch through the back of your leg. Full breath in. Slow breath out. Again, inhale. Exhale. Navel to spine here. Top leg is going to stay where it is. That left leg will start to lengthen out along your mat, flexing those left toes, drawing them back towards your face. Now, if that starts to feel like a lot for your lower back when you lengthen that bottom leg, please feel free to keep that bottom knee bent and foot planted. Now we're flexing through that left foot. We're gonna get active and point through the right toes. Think about squeezing the top of your right thigh and then turning your right hip bone so that you're turning out. That means your right heel is gonna point in, your toes are gonna turn out. Beautiful. I like to put my hands on my hips just to remind me to stay steady. We're gonna start to make some little circles through that right leg. So crossing over the center of your body, take an inhale as you drop your leg down through center. Exhale as you scoop the leg out wide and then back up to the top. Inhale, crossing your body, sweeping down. Exhale, wide and up to the top. Just one more in this direction, trying to keep that nice active energy through both legs. Once you get to the top, we'll switch directions. So inhale to open wide, drop to the bottom. Exhale, circle up and to the top. Beautiful. This is about control, not about the size of the circle. So we're moving nice and slowly and intentionally, feeling this through the right leg. Awesome. As you get back to the top, take an inhale here. Exhale, hug that right knee back into your chest. And then let's pull the right knee up and over the body, finding a twist. Right shoulder is heavy here as you twist through your spine. Maybe taking your gaze towards your right fingertips. We've got a full breath in. Breath out. Your next inhale brings you back through center, back onto your back. Your right foot can find the floor, and we're gonna bend that left knee to meet it. So both feet nice and planted. From here, inhaling into your rib cage, exhaling navel to spine, nice and strong. Start to lift your knees to a tabletop position. So knees over your hips, shins making a number 11 parallel to the floor. Hands will come behind your head, elbows nice and wide. Take an inhale. Exhale, curl your head, your shoulders off of the mat. Now that same right leg we were just working is gonna extend straight up towards the ceiling once again. Left knee is gonna stay bent for you. Take your inhale to lengthen that right leg down in front of you, just to about a 45-degree angle. And then exhale, think scoop in as you lift up. So inhale, lower to that 45. And then exhale, squeeze everything to center as you lift the foot. One more like that. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. Good. We're going to add on if you so choose. If you want less here, head comes down. Just focus on moving that right leg. If you want more, we're going to add a twist. So head and shoulders are lifted here. As you inhale, leg goes to that diagonal. Left knee pulls in. Right shoulder up and over to the left knee. Use your exhale to bring everything back through center. Head is going to stay hovering. So inhale, leg lowers, bicycle that right shoulder over. And then inhale through center. Let's do 3 more. Inhale for that little bicycle twist. Exhale through center. Good. Follow your breath as you move. Again, control is the name of the game. Does not matter about the speed. Good. Exhale brings you back to center. Relax your head, your shoulders. Rebend your right knee. And then hug your knees to your chest. Nice big squeeze. Good. Inhale. Exhale. From here, let your knees open out nice and wide. Heels are going to stay together. Feet are going to open up. So again, that nice external rotation through our hips. So again, heels are glued, feet are open like a first position if you're a ballerina. Arms can just be down by your sides supporting you. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, push your feet away. Think about zipping up your legs, squeeze them together. And then inhale, separate your knees, actively pull them back towards your shoulders. So exhale to push, zipping up your inner thighs. And inhale to pull, bringing your knees back towards your shoulders. Exhale, push away. Inhale, pull it in. Now, as you go with your froggy legs here, if you want a little bit more challenge for your core, you can lower your legs down. So the closer your feet get towards the floor, the more intense it's going to be for your lower abdominals. If you start to feel this kind of arching of your low back as you lower the legs, then bring the legs higher again. We want to make sure we're maintaining that neutral spine and that strong core support. Just 3 more here, exhaling to push away, inhaling to pull in, feeling into those inner thighs here a little bit more. Last one, we push and pull the knees in. Good. Let your feet relax, knees come back together. Maybe gentle rock side to side if that feels good. How you feeling? That is one side down. Let's take that over to the other side. So we're gonna start with the right foot planting to the floor, left knee hugging into your chest, roll through your ankle in both directions. As we get into this left side, might feel a little bit different than your right. That's a-okay. Let's see how that hammy is feeling. So hands to the back of your thigh. Let your knee come away from you. And then lengthen your left leg to the ceiling. Point and flex, see how that feels. Left hip plugging into the floor, and left side waist nice and long. So resisting that urge to let your left hip pull up towards your shoulder to give you more length. Instead, lengthen your left hip away as you reach your heel to the sky. Good. Relaxing your left foot, hands to the back of your leg. Maybe gently pulling your leg a little bit closer. Full breath in. Slow breath out. One more here. Inhale. And exhale. Awesome. From here, slowly begin to lengthen your right leg out, flexing through your right foot. Again, always the option to keep that right knee bent for some added support. Nice neutral spine. Let's get active through that left leg. So squeezing through the quad, pointing through the toes, and then turning out through your hip. So your toes point out, your heel points in. 3 circles each direction. Let's inhale, crossing your body. Bring your leg down. And then exhale, sweep out to the side and come back up to the top. Keep it going. Inhale, cross your body and down. Exhale, wide and to the top. One more at your pace. These circles can be small. Nice. Once you get to the top, switch directions, open out wide, down through center, cross your body, and back up to the top. That right leg is staying strong, toes flexed, thigh planting down, just to give you that support to move through your left leg. Gorgeous. As you get to the top, pause there, take a breath in. Use your breath out to draw your knee to your chest. And then pull your left leg up and over for a twist. So just like before, let's find that lengthening through the side waist. Left hip moving down as your left shoulder plants into the floor. Maybe taking your gaze over to your left fingertips as you take a breath in. And breath out. Use your inhale, come back through center, nice and slow. Let's come straight into that tabletop position this time. So knees coming to stack over your hips, navel hugging in towards your spine. Hands behind your head, elbows wide as you take an inhale. Exhale, curl, lift head and shoulders. Beautiful, left leg to the sky this time. Take your inhale, lower your leg to that 45, nice and active all the way through your toes. And then exhale, squeeze back up to the top. 2 more, inhale to lower. Good. Exhale to lift. Last one. Inhale, lower your leg as far as your body wants to go. And then exhale to lift. If you want, let's add that twist. So as you inhale, left leg goes to 45, right knee hugs in, left shoulder curls up and over. Exhale brings you back to center. Now with your breath, inhale to that bicycle. Exhale through center. 3 more. Remember, if you want the option to take a little work out of this, head comes down. We're just lowering and lifting that left leg. Beautiful. Last one, wherever you choose to be. Exhale brings you back through center. Lower your head and shoulders. Rebend your left knee and hug your knees to your chest. Little rock side to side if that feels good. Full breath in. And breath out. Gorgeous. From here, feet come to the floor. Slowly roll yourself onto the left side of your body. So I like to line myself up with the back long edge of my mat so that my left shoulder and left hip are going to be in one long straight line. From there, option 1 with your head is to lay it down on your arm. Option 2 is take a little calendar pose with your left hand underneath your left ear. Beautiful. Knees are going to start bent here. So hips are stacked, right hip on top of left. Just like I mentioned before, that top hip is going to want to pull towards your shoulder. Let's actively try to push the hip away. That's going to create a little bit more lift underneath you as well. Nice. So knees are bent and slightly in front of you. So there's this diagonal line from hip to knee. And then we're going to keep the toes together. Take an inhale to lift that right knee up off of the left. And then exhale to close it down. Clamshells. Inhale to open. Exhale to close. Starting to feel some work into our top outer right hip here. So there's a lot to think about, even though this seems like a simple movement, right? So we're trying to keep ourselves steady, balanced on this left side of the body. We're keeping that right hip lengthening away from the right shoulder, and we're working control into this outer right hip. Now, if you've got all those foundations in place, you're lifting and lowering, and you're thinking, Lydia, I'm barely feeling anything here. Let's step this up a notch. Then do I have news for you? Of course, you can always stay right here, but if you so choose, feet can lift off the mat and you can open and close from there. Make sure that your big toes continue to kiss. So really pointing the toes active through your legs. And each time you open that knee, can you keep your hips stacked? So rather than letting yourself turn open as the knee opens, can you keep everything strong through center and just focus on that lift and lower of your knee? Good. One more chance to add on if you want it. Each time you open your knee, take a kick up, toes come back together, and then close. So again, open, kick, toes, close. So 3 options for you to explore today. Choose whatever adventure feels right for you. Make sure whatever you choose, you are still breathing. We've got another 5, another 4, good, another 3, last 2, and finish up your last round here, closing the knees. If your feet are lifted, bring them back to the floor. Awesome. If it feels good, you can pound out through that right hip, just bringing a little blood flow there. And then we're going to keep these foundations here nice and long through your right side waist, bottom knee bent. And we'll start to lengthen the top leg, right heel in line with right hip. Flex your foot this time, so toes to your nose. Take an inhale to sweep your leg forward as far as it feels comfortable to go. And then exhale to keep that straight leg and sweep it back. Good. Inhale, sweep your leg forward with control. Exhale, send it back. So we're keeping our foot at that hip height, maybe slightly higher. And we're looking for, once again, that control here. So you'll notice your leg will probably come forward far more than it's going to go back. We want to make sure we're not starting to banana into that shape. Really doesn't matter how far the leg goes. Good. Let's take one more here, bringing your leg forward, sending your leg back so your heel is slightly behind your booty. Hold here. Let's lift the leg up an inch, down an inch, up an inch, down an inch. A little lift and lower here. Remember that lengthening through your side waist. I constantly have to remind myself of that one too. Little lift, little lower. Good. Any speed that works for you here as we go for another 8, another 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rebend your right knee. Let that leg come down. And maybe again, pound it out if that feels like a nice stretch. Amazing. Press yourself up now. We're going to come all the way up to seated. So we've been working that right hip. We're going to give it a little stretch. Let your legs come out in front of you. Give them a little wiggle to start. Lovely. And then bending into your right knee, let's cross right foot over left leg. Sit up nice and tall. Take an inhale. Exhale, gentle twist towards that right side of your mat. Now, as you twist, give your leg a little hug so you start to feel a little bit more of a stretch into that outer hip, outer glute. Maybe look back over your shoulder as you take another breath in. Stay for your breath out. Inhale. Use your exhale to unwind, coming back through center. Now from here, we're going to place that right ankle on top of the left thigh, opening the right knee nice and wide. Hands come behind you so you can lean back, bend your left knee, and plant your foot. So we're doing our figure 4 stretch here, something we usually do laying on our back. So if that feels a lot more comfortable for you, feel free to bring it down, hug it in here. If you feel okay seated upright, we have the option to take this stretch kind of as deep as we want to go. So the closer everything is together, the deeper the stretch will be. The farther apart, the more room there is, the less intense the stretch will be. All the same stretch, you just get to choose how deep you want to take it today. So again, if your heel, your chest come in a little closer to that right leg, you're gonna feel that stretch a bit more intensely. If you back everything away from each other, it's just a nice solid little stretch into your outer hip. So choose your own adventure. Take a deep breath in and let it out. Inhale and exhale. Nice slow release of that stretch, bringing your foot off of your knee. Feet come nice and wide. Let's windshield wiper the knees side to side. Nice little release for us. Now, of course, you know we've got the other side to do. So when you're ready, we're going to come to lay down on our right side this time. Line yourself up with that long edge of your mat. Bring yourself down. Maybe a little calendar pose for your head or resting onto your bicep. And then start by bending your knees and finding your length. So left hip away from left shoulder, that lift through the right side waist. Big toes together, knees nice and bent. Let's start with our clamshells. So inhale to open and exhale to close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Good. Now with that top left hand, you can keep it on your hip. Sometimes that's a nice reminder to keep that length through your side waist. You also have the option to bring the hand in front of you just for a little added balance. Again, we're really looking to stay strong through our torso so that support is there. for us to really focus into this one area of the body, this outer left hip. So really choose the position that works best for you, where you feel stable. You're not going to wobble back and forth as we move. And this is something that will begin to build up strength over time as well, just kind of posturally as you do more of your yoga and Pilates. You'll start to feel that strength. Cool. If you want more here, lift the feet off of your mat, keeping that right thigh down as your anchor point. Same movement, we lift, we lower. From there, if you want level 3, you have the option to open, kick, toes together, and close. Beautiful. See if you can take it to the same level that you did on the other side. If not, no worries. Like I mentioned before, the sides of your body are going to be a slightly different experience. So if this side is feeling stronger, you might go for that kick. If this side is feeling a little bit wobbly today, you might stick with an open close. Again, same work. It's just up to you what level of intensity you want to take it to. Never push your body to a point of pain. We want challenge, yes, but we don't want any pain, sharpness, burning, anything that's not going to let you come back onto your mat. Beautiful. We're here for another 5. Clamshells for another 4. You got this, just another 3. Last 2. And let's do one more, letting the knee open and close. Feet come back to the mat. Everything stays the same except that top left leg is going to lengthen out. So heel kicks out, foot about in line with your hip. Take your inhale to sweep your leg forward any amount. And exhale to sweep your leg back. Just that little glute squeeze. Inhale, bring it forward. And exhale, sweep it back. I like to think of it almost like I'm trying to paint this little semicircle through the air with my foot. So I'm keeping my foot at the same level and moving it really slowly and intentionally. Nice. Staying strong through your center, navel to spine, so we're not wobbling back and forth. And let's do 2 more here. Sweeping forward, sweeping back. Getting ready to move into that up an inch, down an inch. So the next time your leg goes back, feel that little squeeze in your booty, and then lift an inch, lower an inch, up and down. Lift and lower. So notice if you start to get that arching through your low back, that banana back shape, then see if you can bring your leg forward just a little bit, hug in the core, and keep that stability and control rather than trying to get your leg farther back, right? Building strength, building mobility over time. Good. Up an inch, down an inch for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend your left knee, bring it in. A little tap on that hip if that feels good. Really nice. Sitting up when you feel ready to do so. Bring yourself up with your legs out in front of you. Give them a little shake, a little wiggle. And then right leg will stay straight. Bend your left knee, cross your left foot over your right thigh. Sits bones root down as you lift your spine up. Take an inhale. Exhale to twist, turning to the left. Little hug of that right arm onto your outer thigh, just to aid in a bit of stretch there for your outer hip. Maybe looking back over your shoulder to complete the twist, taking an inhale and exhale. Once more, we inhale here and exhale, slowly come back through center. Opening your left knee wide, left ankle to top of right thigh. Hands come back behind you as you bend your right knee and plant your foot. So remember, you choose the intensity here. If you want less of a stretch, keep that right foot farther away. Let your chest kind of lean back. Maybe even bring it all the way down to lay on your back and take your figure 4 there. If you want more of a stretch, heel comes in, chest comes in, as if you're trying to just pancake everything together. Make sure wherever you are, you can still breathe comfortably, keeping that left knee pressing out wide and your chest proud. 2 full rounds of breath here, giving some love to that left hip. Nice. After this, we've just got one last little bit of work to get into our hamstrings, so a little bit more into the backs of our legs, and then we're going to stretch things out and wind it down. So good. With your next exhale, slowly release this stretch. Bring your feet nice and wide and take that windshield wiper side to side. When the time feels right for you, let yourself lay down all the way onto your back. No rush to get there. We'll meet with knees bent, feet planted flat onto the mat. All right, finishing up with a little bridge series here. So heels will be in line with your hips here, arms resting down by your sides. Upper arms are pressing down into the floor, so your shoulder blades are drawing back, giving you a little puff through your chest, and then your feet are rooting down firmly into the floor. Push down through your heels as you take an inhale and lift your pelvis up any amount. Use your exhale to lower your hips just to a hover over the floor. Tucking your tailbone as you scoop and lift, and then relaxing your pelvis as you exhale and lower. Starting with that full range here. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. So hopefully as you're moving through your bridges here, you're starting to feel this stretch happening through the top of your body here. So the fronts of your thighs, your hips, your belly, and this strength that's coming into the back line of your body. So this little squeeze at your lower glute, your hamstring, helping you to lift up. Now, if you're really feeling this into your low back, focus less on how high you can lift and more on lengthening your tailbone towards your heels, finding that squeeze as you bring the hips up. Good. Inhaling to lift. Exhaling to lower. This time as you inhale, lift your hips, hold it there. We're lifting up an inch and dropping down an inch. Lifting up an inch, dropping down an inch. Just little movements to feel that squeeze, that activation of the hammies. See if you can keep your knees in line, so pointing forward over the line of your toes. Really nice. We're here for another 4, another 3, last 2, and 1. Lower your hips all the way down. Take a moment here, maybe windshield wiper the knees, take a stretch, whatever feels good to release. Awesome, so we're gonna move into another round of our bridges here. This time focusing a little bit more deeply into the hamstrings. So when you're ready, rebend your knees in line with your hips. Upper arms down, feet pressed down. Take an inhale to lift up. So again, not your highest lift necessarily, just enough to feel the hips hug in, the lower glutes turn on. From here, start to lift the balls of your feet off the floor so you're on your heels. We're going to start to walk our feet away from our hips. So towards that bottom edge of your mat, just enough to keep your knees bent, keep your hips lifted, and then start to walk your feet back underneath your knees. Beautiful. Try that a few more times, walking your heels out. And then bringing your heels back in. Just 3 more times here. Keeping that squeeze of the lower glutes of navel to spine to support you. And again, this movement doesn't have to be big. You don't have to walk out too far. We're just trying to feel that pull on the hamstrings as you bring your heels back in. So really squeezing back to center there. Nice. Last time to walk your heels out. Bring your heels back in. Lifting at the top, feet relax down. And then slowly let your pelvis find the floor. Again, whatever feels good to release, take a few breaths here. One last round of our bridges before we are done for the day. Such a good job. All right, this last round, we're gonna get a little bit more into our calves as well. It's a little opportunity to explore there. When you're ready, feet come down. All right, for this one, we're gonna want the heels a little bit closer towards your body. Pressing down through the balls of your feet, allow your heels to lift any amount. Really pressing down through that big toe mound, so the base of your big toe, and then the base of your pinky toe. Feel that squeeze through the backs of your legs as you lift your hips. Beautiful. From here, we inhale, hips lift. Exhale, hips lower about halfway. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. The whole time, heels are staying lifted. So you might start to feel a little bit of shakiness, a little bit of trembling in the body. We have been working hard today. That just means your muscles are feeling it. They're getting stronger. Really nice. Lift and lower. This time as you inhale, let your hips lift. We're going to lift up an inch, down an inch, up an inch, down an inch. Keeping your heels lifted the entire time for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift your hips, lift your heels. Drop your heels down. And then relax your hips to the floor. Good. Big full body stretch here. Legs long, arms reach back behind you. Relax your belly as you take an inhale here. And exhale. Awesome. From here, bend your knees one more time. We'll lift our knees into our chest, wrap ourselves up in a nice big hug. Potential for a little rock side to side if that feels like a nice massage. Let's finish out our day together here with a gentle twist. So legs will stay together for this one. We'll bring the knees a little bit away from the chest. Arms can come out nice and wide to either side of you, palms facing up. Let's start by dropping our knees up and over to the left side of your mat, stacking right hip over left, finding a twist. Keeping your right shoulder heavy so you get a nice stretch through your chest as well as through your spine. And we'll stay for 3 breaths here. In through your nose and out through your nose or mouth. Allowing yourself some time here to shift your body out of that really active, effortful state and into this more quiet, easeful place of being. With your next inhale, slowly bring yourself back through center. Take as long as you need to reset here. And then legs will drop over to your right, creating your twist on the other side. Stacking legs and hips as you lengthen through that top side waist. 3 breaths here to enjoy. So the more you are able to come back to your mat to practice your yoga, your Pilates, these kind of slower strengthening movements, you'll find this really exciting opportunity to build that strength over time. So as you show up to your mat for these practices, just show up how you feel that day. There's no need to push yourself farther than your body is willing to go. Because with that consistency, you will see change. You will feel that strength in your body. Inhale brings you back through center when you're ready. One last big hug of your knees in towards your chest. And then let yourself stretch out into a Shavasana. Legs long, feet reaching to the bottom corners of your mat. Arms wide by your sides, palms facing up. If it feels okay for you, perhaps your eyes close if they're not already. And take a few slow, steadying breaths here. So important to give your body this time for stillness at the end of your practice in order to integrate everything that you've just done. Really bringing all that strengthening into your body. Enjoying the fruits of your labor here as you improve not just on the mat, but off the mat. And in these moments of integration, I also find it helpful to incorporate some gratitude. Thanking yourself for showing up to your mat, for committing to this time. And thanking your body for showing up for you today. Let's take 3 more breaths together here. In through your nose, out through your nose or mouth. And then beginning to wiggle your fingers and toes. Again, bringing movement into your body gently here as you reawaken. Starting to bend your knees when you're ready and roll yourself onto either side of your body. Pressing yourself up to a seated position. Keeping your body relaxed as best you can. Maybe your eyes are still closed. And we'll meet here together, palms in front of your heart, Anjali Mudra. I thank you so much for meeting me on the mat today. Until we meet here again, be well.